receiver. Godspeed.
What is good, YouTube? This is your boy Aaron.
It's Brian.
This is the Courtside View podcast, and we are back today to discuss the NFL. We are talking about the AFC East. Another pretty bad division. I'm not going to lie. I feel like I'm talking about a different sport. I feel like I'm not talking about the NFL right now with how bad these divisions are. So, with that being said, let's start off with the actual good team in the division, and that is the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills are, how I could say, they are a Josh Allen carry job. That's all I can say on that matter, because I was looking at the roster, I was looking at the depth. It's not that great. Defensively, it's not that great. It's not that great. Let me pull it up right now.
They got Greg Rousseau, who's solid. Ed Oliver's good. Joey Bosa's on the decline, but he can still make some shake. Matt Milano's good. My biggest concern with the Bills is definitely the secondary. Taylor Rapp, he's all right. Teron Johnson, solid.
Tre'Davious White,
in Big 25.
Christian Benford is the only decent corner on their roster, the only decent DB in my opinion. Everybody else is yuck.
Maxwell Harrison, I wasn't a big fan of his tape coming out of. I think they kind of overdrafted him, and then he has them allegations.
Right.
Hey,
I forgot about Maxwell Harrison.
Yeah. That defense is definitely going to be an interesting group to watch. I would say that.
The Bills offense is going to have to do a heavy carry job this year, because that defense is only going to be good off a scheme. That scheme, hey, don't get me wrong. The coach has done wonders with the defense before, but given the talent, it's going to be very difficult. But I like the Bills' offensive line. They have a pretty solid, good offensive line. But the weapons, Keon Coleman, Shakir, Palmer, Kincaid. Cook is nice. Cook is good, but it just seems like another Josh Allen carry job.
A contract?
Yeah. I haven't heard much about that whole situation, but I'll just assume he'll come back for training camp. But besides Cook, the offense doesn't look good. Well, the offensive line is good, and the running back is good.
In my opinion, Kincaid hasn't worked out in the way they probably hoped for him. You drafted him in the first round. He hasn't really done much of anything. And as far as receivers go, Khalil Shakir is really the only reliable guy you have. And he's a slot receiver, so you gotta hope Keon Coleman pans out. You're gonna rely on Joshua Palmer.
They're really
Elijah Moore,
they really have to.
I know Josh Allen's tremendous and all of that, MVP, but you still got to get a man something to work with.
Keon Coleman has to develop this year. He has to make a leap, because the way it's looking, they're going to be in the same situation they were last year. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, AFC Championship is great, but good.
We all knew they wasn't beating the Chiefs.
I mean, are they going to be able to get back to that point? Just look at Baltimore. Baltimore got better. I don't know if they could get back to that point with this roster.
Yeah, me either.
I think they'll sweep the division. The division, no question about it. This division is garbage. They'll do a handful on the division, but in terms of competing for a Super Bowl, I don't see this roster. Yeah. I don't see this roster doing it. Even with Cam Newton. Remember Cam Newton when he did his little carry job in 2015? He at least had a great defense, and the offensive line was pretty good.
That defense on the Panthers was crazy.
Josh Allen doesn't even have that. So what am I looking at? What am I looking at?
Yeah, that secondary is going to be the downfall. I actually don't hate the front seven, but that secondary gives me next to nothing to be excited about.
So do you think Josh Allen can carry another mediocre roster to a potential Super Bowl berth?
Yeah, he still got Joe Brady, so and he's done it before. Like last year, that roster wasn't spectacular, so I think he could do it. But the thing is, he shouldn't have to do it.
It's a good point. I don't think he can do it. I don't think he can carry this mediocre roster to a Super Bowl.
To a Super Bowl. Oh no, absolutely not. No.
I don't think he can. They'll win a lot of games, but I don't think he can
Especially
carry
with
that
Sean
roster.
McDermott as the head coach. I don't see it.
Well, Sean McDermott has done wonders with the defense, so I like Sean McDermott as a coach just because
sometimes
his ability
makes some
to get the best.
questionable decisions. I'm like,
okay, late game decision making, that's not his strong suit. But when it comes to the defensive side, he knows what he's doing. He's still getting the best out of his defense despite the lack of talent. I'm just speaking just from a talent perspective. I don't see this team competing with the Chiefs or the Ravens to get to the Super Bowl. I don't think they can beat both of those teams.
The reason they lost to the Chiefs because they didn't have a dude they could go to when the game got tight and they needed a first down. All they needed was like a first down or two, and they would have been in good position to win. They couldn't get a first down because they didn't have a guy outside of Josh Allen or I guess James Cook that was really going to make a play for him. And boom, they went 3 and out. And yeah, that was all she wrote pretty much.
That's all she wrote.
Ball back, gamed them on 4th down to Samaje Perine. So
that guy that they drafted back in 21, Greg
Rousseau.
Yeah, Greg Rousseau, he's gonna have to take another leap. He was good last year. He was really good last year. And Ed Oliver's gonna have to take another leap as well. They want to.
Ed Oliver's really good though.
No, he's really good. He's really good, but he's gonna have to take another leap.
No.
Both of them dudes gonna have to take another leap if they want to contend. Because as of this moment, I don't see this team contending for a Super Bowl. Yeah. Unless those two guys wreak havoc and Joey Bosa turns back the clock.
They traded for Joey Bosa and he's injured.
Yeah, I don't see it. Or
signed Joey Bosa, he's injured.
I don't see it.
Yeah.
Hey, but they'll win the division. They'll win the
Crazy
AFC.
things have happened. Yeah,
you're right. Crazy things have happened because you never know. This front four might do the greatest carry job of all time and just be so dominant that it doesn't matter that they have a mediocre to below average secondary. So you never know. I don't see it. But hey,
me either.
Who knows? Let's move on. I want to go to the Dolphins. This is
I'm gonna say this. The way they've been moving, they trying to get somebody fired. Maybe everybody at this point. Some of this stuff is just straight up head scratchers. You trade away Jalen Ramsey and Jonnu Smith and get back Minka Fitzpatrick.
Yeah.
Huh? I mean, I like Minka Fitzpatrick as a player, but like that's the lateral move.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Then you trade for Darren Waller? Are you serious? Darren Waller. You get rid of Jonnu Smith, who had a pretty solid year. I know you'll check it down to blah blah blah. He had a solid year. For Darren Waller to be your number one tight end? I'm befuddled. I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't like. So looking at the depth on this team, I don't like their tackles. Their tackles,
offensive or defensive?
Offensive.
Okay.
I mean, defensive isn't all that great either. Outside of Chop Robinson.
Paul.
That's their left tackle.
First names. I don't want no damn lineman that got 2 first names on my team.
I like Chop Robinson. I like Zach. Yeah, I like Zach, but in terms of the offensive line, I'm not too
Kenneth Grant
comfortable.
Should be good.
I'm not too comfortable with their offensive line outside of
Jalen Phillips hasn't shown much of anything.
their guard play and their center play. I don't like their tackles. That's going to be problematic, especially with Tua, who's not mobile anymore. This isn't
True.
Alabama Tua. And Achan, as talented as he is, he's never healthy. He's never healthy.
He was fully healthy last year. He had a full healthy season. I had him on my fantasy team. I would know. We went to the championship off Achan check downs, but he was healthy all year for the most part.
Do you think if he gets 200 carries, he'll last?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. That's my point. Because I have to
That's
look.
why they drafted Jalen Wright.
Matter of fact, let me look at. Oh, that is a good point. That's why they did draft him. You're right about that.
Well, last year.
Yeah. Right. I have to look at his Let me look at his stats real quick. I don't want to be.
I think they was able to extend Achan's longevity by getting him more involved in the passing game. He didn't take a whole bunch of handoffs.
He actually did have over 203 carries.
Oh,
yeah, he had 203 carries.
Dang.
Yeah. How many games did he play?
I think he played
He played the entire season.
I think I want to say he did.
Let me see. Football Reference. Let me see. Football Reference says he played 7. Okay, he played 17. Okay, he played 17. That's not bad.
He had a lot of touches. He had a lot of screens, quick passes.
Okay, maybe I'm wrong. If they can keep it to around 200, I think that could be good.
Yeah. They definitely will give Jalen Wright a little more this season since it's his second year. But, I mean, offensively, they have a good offense, but they still lack size, in my opinion. They don't have that. I guess that's probably what they're thinking with Darren Waller acquisition, a guy that could just fight for contested catches in the red zone. I don't think he's that good anymore. But the receiver, according to me, Waddle and Reek, still good players. But I don't know, man. This team has issues.
Reek getting up there in age.
Yeah.
And Waddle,
he putting weird stuff on Twitter and all. And I'm like,
and Waddle, he's a concussion. He's in concussion protocol almost every game.
Health concerns.
So injury concerns, and then Tyreek getting up in age, and Tua as well. We don't know what Tua. He's a risk.
Yeah.
I don't like
that good in my opinion.
I don't like this team at all. I don't like it. I don't like the way that they're looking. I think they are on the verge of a disaster.
Yeah, like I just don't. I'm looking at this team. I don't even know some of these dudes.
They're gonna call you a casual because of that.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely supposed to know Storm Duck. Who in the world is that?
Let me look at the. Well, you know what? Fair enough. Let me look at the draft pick real quick. The draft picks.
They drafted Kenneth Grant, who I like.
Didn't you say they drafted? They reached on that pick. Didn't you say?
I'd say yes, but I mean, at that point of the draft, I mean, we was kind of just splitting hairs on draft value. Could they have traded down and got Kenneth Grant? Maybe. I don't know. I mean, the only other option for them would probably be corner in that spot. So, I mean.
Okay, so you know what? Maybe I was a bit too harsh on the defense because Kenneth Grant addition, that's going to help them a lot.
Yes.
Do you think he's going to start during the season, or is he going to be rotational? Oh, really?
Then why they going to start?
Why does PFF not have him in the starting lineup? I don't get it.
Our lads got him as the starting. Well, they got him at D end, not tackle, which is interesting.
Yeah, well, yeah, PFF. I don't know why PFF doesn't have him in the starting lineup. It's weird. Very weird. Well, actually, you know what it is? The personnel is nickel.
Oh,
that's what it is. Okay, yeah, because on base
3-4.
No. Mine had nickel. That's why.
Oh,
but when you put it on base, then it shows Grant. Okay, that makes sense.
Okay,
you know what?
Do they got him at end or tackle?
They have him at nose tackle. Yeah, they have him at nose tackle.
That's interesting. Why you got
Okay,
me as an
so
end
now
on this?
now that he's shown on the base defense, I actually like this defense a little bit more, especially their interior. Okay. No, I mean the front four is going to be fine. I think the front four is going to be fine. Then you have Chubb, who with Kenneth Grant, I think that's going to create more one-on-one opportunities for him. I'm not the highest on Jalen Phillips, but the front four is going to be
I
fine.
like
I
Chop
like the
though,
front four. Yeah, Chop Robinson's fantastic.
and he from the crib.
Okay, so they have a nice little D line. They have
Yeah,
a nice
but
little
they,
D
they
line with
got
it.
they got Duck Storm at CB. I've never heard of this dude, Duck Storm.
Yeah, but the
I
corners,
gotta look him up.
corners. I'm not too
Duck
fond of the
Storm
corners.
is crazy.
Yeah, I'm not too fond of the corners. But let's see, what else do we got? What else? Oh, they drafted Ollie Gordon in round 3.
Oh, his name is Storm Duck.
Yeah, round 6. Excuse me, Ollie Gordon in round 6. Who else did they draft? They drafted Jordan Phillips out of Maryland in round 5. Yeah, they drafted a guard in round 2. That's the guy that's going to be starting for them this year. Okay, I still don't like this team. I still don't think I still don't think this team is going to compete
Yeah,
a whole lot.
yeah.
That
I'm
yeah,
not huge on him either.
I'm still not high on this team because injuries. Tua, Waddle, Hill is up there in age. Waller, he's I don't know what's wrong with him. He might have CTE. Who knows? But yeah, I don't like this team. I don't like this team. Sorry, Dolphins fans. I don't know what else to tell you, but this doesn't look like a contending team to me. This doesn't look like a team that's gonna make the playoffs. They just don't have a whole lot of talent. If Tua was Josh Allen, I probably feel different. I would definitely feel differently. I would say, oh, this team win a division, but he's not Josh Allen. He's not a top 10 QB in my book.
No,
Maybe top, maybe he's 17, 18-ish,
that
which is
sounds
not
about
going to
right.
do it, in my opinion. So, yeah, Dolphins, it's going to be an ugly year. It's going to be an ugly year. And I think
Yeah,
we should move on because of that. Let's go to the Jets. Another team that's I'll say this about the Jets. I like their roster. Minus probably the QB. But I like the roster. I like the roster. They have some pieces that they can work with. I like their offensive line. They have a really good offensive line.
yeah.
They drafted 2 first
Ahmad
round guys.
Limbu.
They drafted 2 tackles in back-to-back year. Vera Tucker is really good. Simpson is really good. Their center is really good. So they have a good offensive line. Brees Hall, I don't know how good he is. I don't know if that 1 year in 2023, I don't know if it was an anomaly or what.
Braylon Allen looked a little better toting that pill last year.
I don't know what to say.
He didn't get opportunity.
Yeah. I wish I
I
would have seen.
It's just a big question mark. You got Justin Fields starting as your QB. Who knows if he'll be able to improve off of that season he had last year with the Steelers? But I don't know.
Yeah, the defense is okay. It's okay.
I think the defense they still got good players. They got like Will McDonald, still got Quentin Williams, Jermaine Johnson. You got Quincy Williams, Sauce. They did get rid of. Reed did leave, unfortunately.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The secondary is looking very skeptical with only Sauce Gardner. Minus Sauce Gardner, that secondary looks skeptical.
I don't know about Andre Cisco if he's just or not.
Yeah, he's pretty He's a jag.
He had funny because he used to play for them.
Yeah, the linebacking core is okay. Let's see, base. What's the nickel look like?
They were 4-2.
Yeah, I think the defense will be okay. It depends on the defensive
That front
coordinator.
four is going to do a lot of carrying.
Yeah, I think the linebackers and the front seven is going to have to carry. I think the front seven can handle their part. The secondary minus Sauce is pretty trash. They yeah yeah. So I think they'll be fine. Offensively, it comes down to really Justin Fields. Can he process information and can he deliver the football accurately enough at a consistent
But
basis?
to be fair, he doesn't have the greatest weapon. Outside of Garrett Wilson, it's kind of just like jag.
But he has a good offensive line.
True.
It's good enough. It's good enough.
Who's the offensive coordinator?
Uh,
Tanner Engstrand. Never heard of him.
does
Don't know what
does
kind of scheme he going to
see,
deploy, or whatever. But it better be
see.
something, because some you got to create. You got to scheme these guys open. Outside of Garrett Wilson, I don't really trust none of these guys to win one-on-one matchups.
Let me see. Tanner. Let me look at his history.
Who are these people?
So he came from Detroit.
Mason Taylor.
So he was the passing game coordinator for the Detroit Lions. So that's good.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's good. Yeah. Coming from Detroit,
Cool.
so that's good. That's good. All right.
I think this definitely be a more run-heavy team.
I would think so. Do some elements of what Detroit did with Gibbs and Montgomery. I would hope so. And then add some quarterback runs with Justin Fields, maybe some RPO action, read option action. That would be nice. Make the game simple for Justin Fields, since he's not a guy that can stand in the pocket for a consistent amount of time.
He's not dropping back 30+ times a game.
No,
That's
no.
not enough.
You need to get him on the move, bootlegs, do something to where you're not asking him to be in the pocket for majority of the game. So they can do that. I think this team could be pretty solid. This is a good enough roster to compete. I just think the quarterback is the biggest question mark of them all. If he plays well, I think this team can really compete.
Honestly,
because
with
I
this
like
team in this division, you could win 9 games.
Yeah, it just boils down to Justin Fields. This is Justin Fields' last opportunity to be a starting caliber QB. If he can't win in this situation, I don't think he'll ever be a starting QB ever again. This is his last opportunity. This is the last opportunity.
Unless he pulls a Geno Smith 5 more years in his career.
You know, people like myself thought, oh, he should remain the starter for the Steelers. So we'll see. We will see. We will see. Let's go to the last team. I want to go to the Patriots. To me, this is the most intriguing team of them all, mainly because of the new head coach and Drake May. Because, you know, you and me, we were high on Drake May coming out of the draft. His rookie season was a roller coaster. A lot of it wasn't his fault. He couldn't really do much with the talent that he was presented with. The offensive line was one of the worst in the league. The receiving core was one of the worst in the league. Overall, the weapons that he had was one of the worst in the league. They drafted Travion Henderson. But outside of Travion Henderson, they didn't really give him a whole lot of weapons to work with. So that's a bit concerning for me. I don't know why they did that. So,
wide receiver market was a little meh.
Yeah, it was.
I know dudes like Devontae, he wasn't going to no Patriots.
What do you think Stephon Diggs is going to provide to this team?
Pink cocaine. Let me stop.
Okay. All
right. You know, he's a vet. You know, is he the best vet? He's a vet. I think he'll give if he heals properly and heals well. He took his rehab seriously and did everything he needed to get back on track. I can see him getting a cool 800, 900 yards as the number one guy. He probably could give you 1,000. He was on that trajectory before he got hurt last year, so I think he still got that juice and the gas left in the tank for that. But yeah, I think he'll give him a solid. You know what? Stephon Diggs, you can say what you want about him as a player, but he's going to be where he needs to be when he needs to be there. He's not going to go off script. He's not going to go rogue on the routes. He's going to be a reliable receiver that Drake May can utilize. And that is probably that's going to be very fundamental for his development because you got a lot of these young dudes running routes, nuances. They don't really know all the wide receiver things. But this guy who has played with multiple QBs, young and veterans, and even backups, he's always produced. So I think this could be really good for Drake May development.
So a good sign for Drake May, I've heard from the head coach and I heard from Josh McDaniels how he's picking up the offense rather quickly. He's improving. So it seems like he's not having too much trouble understanding different concepts. Josh McDaniels, he's bringing in different concepts that Drake May is familiar with, that he's comfortable with. That's good. I also like the Patriots' defense. I'm a fan of their defense. I think their defense is going to be really good this year. They have a lot of quality pieces. Jabril Peppers, although he played only 6 games in 2024, in those 6 games, he was actually really good. His coverage grade was good. Statistics back up that claim. I think the passer rating wasn't all that high. So Jabril Peppers, I like Jabril Peppers in this defense for 2025. Obviously, Gonzalez, he's fantastic. We already know how good he is. And surprisingly, Carlton Davis is actually an underrated pickup for them because he was really good in 2024. He also, when you look at the advanced analytics, he was a solid corner. And on PFF, he's the 21st best corner. So he was an underrated pickup for them. I just like a lot of I liked a lot of their pieces. Milton Williams, he was good last year for the Eagles.
They gave him a lot of money.
They did. Harold Landry III, he was good. He was good last year.
Solid for the
he was good. Yeah. He was good. So they have some pieces. Keon White, he's pretty solid as well.
Barrymore.
Yeah, they have stuff. They have people they could work with. Christian Ellis, he's another dude, was good for them last year. They have a lot of really good pieces on this team. I think their defense is going to be top 10. I won't be surprised if they're a top 10 defense. It's just the offense. What is that offense going to look like?
Yeah.
They don't have a whole lot of pieces. They don't have a whole lot of talent on the offensive side of the ball besides Diggs. I'm not comfortable with Hunter Henry, Austin Hooper. These guys are up there in age. I'm just not too confident with that tight end group. So who knows? I'll trust Josh McDaniels. I'll trust what he's saying. I'll trust what the head coach is saying. But you still need talent at the end of the day. And that's my concern.
Yep.
That's my concern. So what is your expectations for Drake May in 2025?
I think Drake May can have a pretty solid year. I wish he had more weapons to work with, but as far as I'm looking for personal improvement, personal growth. I'm not expecting him to go out there and win 10 games or nothing crazy like that. I just need to see him continue to get better at the quarterback things, schedule plays, playing in structure, all of that good stuff. So if I had to do a stat prediction, I think 22 touchdowns and around 9 picks is apropos for him.
I think he gets more touchdowns.
More than 23?
Yeah, I think in terms of total touchdowns.
Total touchdowns.
I think he can
he'll probably get like 25 or so.
I think he gets close to 30.
Really?
Yeah.
Got that much faith in him.
Yeah, I think he gets close to 30 touchdowns. Maybe 11 interceptions. He's a gunslinger. Yeah, he's going to throw some interceptions. So around 30 total touchdowns, 11 interceptions. I think the completion percentage will still be relatively low. probably get 63, 64 completion percentage. That's my expectation. That's what I believe Drake May will do in year two. Just what I've heard from the coaches, from Josh McDaniels, from the head coach, it seems like he's picking up the offense rather good from spring practice, mini camp to OTAs. It seems like everything is going fine. So I'm gonna just take their word on it and believe that he'll improve from 2024. He actually has a group of coaches that want him to succeed, that know what they're doing, that have a plan in place. Nobody is on a hot seat. So I'm gonna be confident in Drake May this year. I like him. All right. What else? Do you think the Patriots have enough offensive and defensive talent to compete in the AFC East?
Defense, yes. Offense, probably not. I mean, it's just mostly their weapons. I like the offensive line, but if you don't have no one to really throw the ball to outside of one or two guys, does it really matter how long you can block for us? So yeah, nah. Honestly, if I had to put the Patriots somewhere in the division, I might have them 3 or 4.
Interesting.
My
All
number
right.
2 might shock you.
Well, you know what? Let's do the rankings right now.
Okay. All right.
Here's
So
my rankings.
you want to go first? Go ahead.
Yeah, here's my rankings for the AFC. So obviously number 1 is going to be Buffalo. No question. Josh Allen. They made it to the AFC Championship last year. I think they're going to run away with this division. Number 2. I think I'm going to go with the Patriots. I think I'm going to go with the Patriots. You know why? Because of that defense. Because of that defense and the new coaching staff, Mike Vrabel, Josh McDaniels. I like the coaching staff. It seems like they have a plan in place, a structure, an actual structure that's going to be good for Drake May and that entire team. Number 3.
It's a little tough, ain't it?
It is. I ain't gonna lie. It is kind of tough. I think I'm gonna go Dolphins. I'll go Dolphins, number 3. They just have too much firepower in offense, and I think that defensive line is going to be dominant for them. And number 4, I'm gonna go with the Jets. I'm just not a believer in Justin Fields. I don't think he's going to be good enough to lead them to a good enough record. And their defense is okay, but I wouldn't say it's top 5, top 8 from a talent perspective. So that's my ranking. What about you?
All right. Number 1, I'm going with the Bills, obviously. It's just went to the AFC Championship game. Number 2, I'm going Jets.
Wow, okay.
I'm going Jets at 2. I like what Aaron Glenn represents as a coach. I like the fact that he brought in a passing coordinator from Detroit with them, which had a really good offense. I like that they had. I think the reason I put the Jets 2, outside of the Dolphins, they have the most weapons to work with between the Patriots and honestly, they got more weapons than the Bills, if you ask me. But yeah, I just feel like if the Jets can implement a good run game with this offensive line this revamped offensive line they got, and they can get Braylon Allen and Breece Hall going, I don't think Justin Fields is going to have to do too much in the passing regard outside of maybe you're going to have to hit Garrett Wilson a few times on some third downs. And the defense, I still really like the defense outside the secondary being a little iffy outside of Sauce. But I think that front 7 is still one of the top units, the top 10 unit in the league. I think if they can just play clean football, limit turnovers, run the ball, I think the Jets can finish number 2 in this division. And for number 3, I'm gonna go with. See, 3 and 4 is different. Is odd because it's not like I don't think they're going to be garbage, but it's just how division placement stack up. I'm gonna go Patriots. I'm gonna go Patriots because I feel like the Patriots have a direction. They have a direction. They know what they want to do with Drake May, young QB, and they're slowly but steadily building that roster up to be able to compete year in year out in the AFC East. And for the fourth, I'm gonna go with the Dolphins strictly because I have no idea what they're trying to do. Like they're moving walkie. They're getting rid of Jalen Ramsey to bring in Minka Fitzpatrick, get rid of Jonnu Smith. Then you trade for Darren Waller, who was just retired and now he wants to be a rapper. I'm like, I don't understand. The team has just been on a steady decline these past few years ever since they lost that playoff game in Arrowhead. And Tua, in my opinion, I'm not a believer in Tua. That money is going to kick in. I don't see it. Tyreek Hill is on the decline. Health issues and all kind of stuff up and down the roster. I do like the D line. But at some point, we haven't seen much improvement from Mike McDaniel. It is what it is. And I'm starting to question his ability to lead this team.
It's a fair assessment. I'm also concerned for the health of Tua and Jalen Waddle. Those are two key pieces for that team. And I don't know if they're going to be available the entire year. And especially with Tua. If Tua is out, that's it. Season's over. So that's how I'm looking at it. I get what you're saying about the Dolphins being 4. I was contemplating. I was like, do I go Jets? Do I go Dolphins? It's really a toss-up for me with those two teams. It could go either way, in my opinion. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Dolphins are 4th and the Jets are 3. Honestly, besides the Bills, it's a toss-up really from 2 to 3 to 4. I think the Patriots
really splitting hairs.
I think the Patriots more than likely won't be the last place this year because they have invested a lot on the defensive side of the ball, and they drafted a left tackle for the future for Drake May. So and they brought in Stephon Diggs.
Linemen too.
They brought in Stephon Diggs as well to help out Drake May. So and they drafted the guy out of Ohio State. So they have a lot of investment. Yeah, they have a lot of investment for Drake May, and I think overall with the coaching staff, with the new players that they brought in, it's going to help them win some games, and I don't see them finishing in 4th place. I look at the Jets situation, and they have better talent than the Dolphins overall, just collectively, besides the quarterback. But I understand you believe in Aaron Glenn. I don't know. I'm still a bit skeptical. I don't know. Defensive-minded coach, I'm still not all the way there yet. Maybe I need to do more research about Aaron Glenn and how they're going to...
I believe Aaron Glenn did coach offense at one point.
Okay. I mean... We saw with the coach of the Falcons, Raheem Morris, how that turned out. He coached offense as well and defense, and he still didn't have the greatest season. But regardless, maybe I need to do more research on Aaron Glenn and that Jets situation. But I'm not all the way confident just yet. I can see your argument because they have a good offensive line. They have a decent defensive line.
Aaron Glenn has not coached for offense before.
Okay. So scratch that out. They have a good offensive line. They have a good defensive line. The trenches is all set. And they can just rely on that running game with Braylon Allen, with whoever it is that they have running the football, Breece Hall. And then you have Justin Fields. I get that. But it's just Justin Fields. I don't know, man. Like... we haven't seen him play great football consistently enough. And can he do that with a squad like this? Highly doubt it. So. But if I'm wrong, that's great.
I feel like just don't put too much on his plate.
That's true. But they don't have a whole lot of talent to work with. They don't have a whole
He
lot
has
of
the
offensive
individual
weapons.
talent, but
Yeah, they don't have a whole lot of
outside of Garrett Wilson. I'm not the biggest fan. That's it. You run the football.
Run the football. Run the football.
Yeah.
All right. I think that'll do it for this episode of the Courtside podcast. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment down below, hit the notification bell for all the socials, and we'll see you all in the next episode of Courtside podcast. Thank you guys for watching, and peace.
Salute.
All right.